Yes, move the body. Yes, do breath work. Yes, expand in consciousness in these physical ways. Words. Running, maybe. When people run, there's a point where they lose the thoughts, just dissipate, they change. There's also just going on a walk in nature, these simple things. But another important piece with that is that you're allowing yourself to remember that you're in the process. And by watching your own thoughts, what we mean by that is not that you are, how do we say, indulging your own thoughts. Oh, there I am, I'm negative, I'm in my thoughts, I'm in my head, I can't figure out what to do, blah, 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 blah. And you're ping-ponging back and forth all day long. No, what we're talking about is you remember you're in the process and you tell yourself, I trust the process. I'm in a stage of this process. And then you observe your own thinking by being the witness rather than being the thought-er. The thought-er, is that correct? The thinker. Rather than being the narrator and being that one, you observe the narrator being that one. You watch it, how you are doing that, and then you step back from it and you said, oh, look at that interesting process, that interesting thinking way that I'm doing that thing. I'm observing that part of myself. Then that self aspect, that higher aspect that is observing the thoughts and how you are doing it, can separate slightly to realize that that is an internal part of the process. So that higher aspect then can actually more anchor and connect to, oh, that's right, we're in a process here. I'm in the process. I'm in the process. I am trusting the process. I set those thoughts aside. I be in the process. I allow for the magic and the miracles and the blessings to happen through and as me, and just keep on doing that. We really think that that is a helpful way for you to disengage from the way that the thinking mind, the narrator mind, the one who seems to stay in the stress and ping-ponging back and forth, is able to disengage a little bit more. Then you have the perspective and you remember who you really are, that you are not the thinking stressor, ping-ponger, narrator person. That is just a part of the processing that is happening in the wholer process. We often talk to you about process. You are in the process. You are in the we say this all the time because that is what it is. You are in the flow of this churning of the ingredients to come out with, we like this analogy, we used it before, we recognize we've used this before. You have put all these ingredients in and you are blending the cake ingredients and you are blending it and it has lumps and it has, until it gets totally smooth, and then you put it in the cake and then the cake into the oven and then you're waiting for the result. You are in all of those stages as the process of your becoming the beautiful cake. Oh boy, we hope that is a good analogy because then the cake eventually gets eaten. But you know what we mean when you give a big smile for that deliciousness that you are creating as the baker and the cake. You are all of it. We hope that has been a good enough analogy. So back to it, one last bit, we would say, many important things in regards to relieving the stress pressure that you can feel when you are doing the ping pong game. See that you're doing the ping pong game. Bring yourself back into yourself as the witness. Watch how that happens and observe yourself almost as if in third person. Why? Because then that separates you from, that is not the reality. That's just a part of the many aspects of you that are in creation. But if that part is constantly activated, then that is what you feel. That is literally what you then experience. I am stressed. I am don't know the answer. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, because that is what you are focused on. That is why we're saying step out of it, move to the side, look back at it and go, isn't that interesting how I am doing that, or how this one does that. Observe. And we say that you can sometimes do that in a kind of an easier way when you do your meditation, when you do deep and powerful breath work. Specifically, we say that the experience of the breath empowerment is one thing that liberates people. They become aware of how it is that they are not their body, but the body is activated by way of the spirit. And when the spirit becomes aware of itself, there is more that can come in and connect in the physical, emotional body that can amplify your consciousness. consciousness. So then there's a merging, and like we said before, a synthesizing that happens. So yes, we appreciate, dearest one, that you asked about the breath work, because your breath is the first thing that you ever did in spirit, in body, in form, on this planet, in this life, or this many lifetimes, to activate your synergistic experience of co-collaborative creation in physical form. To take that back, use your breath empowerment. You can speak to our beloved channel about that. There are many ways that you can offer yourself these things. We do indeed say prayer and meditation. We also say calling these things in directly. I am in the process. I allow the infinite intelligence beyond me to support me, to smooth the way, just as much as I step through and out of the way, and I am in it all too. We hope that makes sense. That was a lot, but we think you will dial it down.